Hello, hello, bienvenidos a un episodio más de este increíble podcast Trascendencia en Acción. Soy la doctora Xochitl Yadira y como siempre es un placer tener una gran amiga conmigo. Nada más para nuestra audiencia, este episodio lo vamos a hacer en Spanglish, así de que ya saben, los invito de que si quieren saber en las traducciones pueden irse a YouTube y cambiar las capciones para que puedan ponerlo en su idioma favorito. Así que vamos a empezar. Bienvenida, Elizabeth. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy agradecido de estar aquí contigo.
Un placer.
Un placer de estar aquí y estar en tu programa Trascendencia en Acción.
Pues gracias por aceptar la invitación y vamos a empezar a conocer a mi gente linda que no conoce a Elizabeth. Tell us a little bit more about you, de dónde eres, cómo ya estás aquí en Milwaukee, qué haces aquí en Milwaukee, platícanos.
¿Qué hago aquí en este frío, verdad?
Sí.
Mi nombre es Elizabeth Perdomo. Soy originaria de Nicaragua. Vine a Milwaukee cuando tenía 12 años. Había una guerra en Nicaragua. La situación política estaba un poquito mala en ese tiempo. Mi papá vivía aquí en Milwaukee y él me mandó a buscar para venir para acá.
Okay.
Yo tuve que cruzar la frontera de México para poder venir aquí a Estados Unidos.
Wow. Cuando hablamos de las experiencias que a veces no se platican, que no se saben, la vida de mojado, lo que significa cruzar el río.
Todo eso lo tuve, yo digo que la gracia y el miedo pero tengo esa experiencia de cruzar la frontera y pasar todo el proceso para la legalización aquí en Estados Unidos.
Sí, que es un dolor de cabeza. Platícanos un poquito de what it was like for the people that are still, we know, in these times, right? There's so much assumptions, the presumptions of what it is, what is not. How long ago was that?
That was back in 85.
Wow.
That was back in 1985 that I crossed the border. I think back then you didn't hear much, pero yo creo que era por la tecnología. No teníamos mucha social media como ahora. Pero creo que el sacrificio que se hace y todo lo que uno pasa es igual como lo estamos pasando ahora. La persecución, y ya estando aquí, yo solamente tenía 12 años, estaba en escuela, todo era en inglés, no había nada en español. Y era bien traumático. Era una niña y no sabía absolutamente nada. Mi papá no sabía inglés. Mi mamá se quedó en Nicaragua. No tenía el apoyo de esa mamá. Era solo mi papá y mis hermanos.
Wow.
Y fue bien duro cuando iba a la escuela y decían, aquí están todos tus libros. Y todo era en inglés. Y no sabíamos. Y lo que me da gusto hoy en día es cómo nosotros los latinos hemos sobrepasado eso, porque ahora tenemos más cosas latinas, más bilingües, escuelas bilingües, y les ayuda más a las personas que vienen de otros países y no saben el idioma.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to that a little bit because when I say misassumptions or presumptions that people have, you really came here pursuing a better life, and your parents brought here. Like when people talk about the American dream, it's not always the luxuries or the privileges or anything like that. It's truly safety, comfort, and then really pursuing, like the Constitution says, pursuing, the happiness.
Right.
And happiness is sometimes just that, being okay and having better opportunities that sometimes you don't have in our own country. So thanks for sharing that. ¿Cuántos son de familia? ¿Son tus papás, tus hermanos?
Mi papá, mi mamá y somos 6 en total. Bueno, 7.
Okay.
Falleció uno de mis hermanos estando aquí.
Siento.
Y quedamos 6.
Okay.
Tengo 2 hermanas y 3 hermanos.
¿Y llegaron aquí a Milwaukee?
Todos vinimos aquí a Milwaukee. El primero que vino fue mi hermano mayor. Okay. Porque él se ganó una beca en Nicaragua para venir a estudiar aquí.
Okay.
Y ahí nomás empezó la guerra, entonces se terminó quedando y después llegó mi papá y después llegamos todos los demás. Sí.
Oh, wow. So you've been here the whole time ever since.
I've been here since 12.
I had a friend that we kept going back and forth because sometimes we say ni de aquí ni de allá. And it's like, no, somos de aquí y de allá.
Yeah. Eso es bueno. Eso es bueno.
We own, our cultures. Awesome. So what was growing up like that for you here in Milwaukee?
It was hard. It was hard because of the language. I didn't like English. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I hated it. I'm like, in my mind, I was 12. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go back to my friends in Nicaragua. I'm going to go back to my mom in Nicaragua. So I'm here just visiting. Yeah. I'm not here to stay. So I think, parents sometimes we make decisions without talking to our kids. So I was never told, hey, you're going to move over there and you're going to live from now on over there. That's going to be your life.
Yeah.
And so it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
Totally culture shock because everywhere I went, it was just English and I didn't know nothing.
On top of the weather.
Right. I came in August of 85. So it was getting cold, but when that weather hit, I was like, what in the world just happened?
Popsicles are coming from the sky.
When I saw the snow the first time, it was beautiful at the beginning, but
yeah.
Then it was
because for the people that are geographically impaired like me, Nicaragua is in the south, right? It's like
Central America.
So which are like the closest countries next to it?
So it's Mexico, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador y Nicaragua.
Okay, so
and then Costa Rica.
Okay.
So nosotros somos el centro de Centroamérica.
Okay. So so weather completely nice, nada de frío. I mean, the cold over there is what, like 50s here, 40s maybe?
Probably 60s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to get that into a picture.
Sí, fue terrible ajustarse al clima.
When did you know that you were not going back?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think life just take over.
Like you were 12 and then 13 and then 14. And then you're like...
I cried a lot. That I can tell you. It was very... when I look back, I can see I was very depressed because missing my mom, missing my country, missing my friends. And it was very traumatic.
Yeah.
Especially because nobody took the time to sit down with me and say, hey, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
My dad is very... está, hecho a la antigua.
Sí.
Ya, ¿por qué estás llorando?
It's a big deal. We're in a new country.
You're here.
Get over
You're
it.
safe.
Oh, my God.
And I thank him. Every day for taking the time to, because my mom and my dad were not together. So he didn't have to take, bring me. Yeah. But he did. And I thank him a lot because of that. Because, it was life-changing.
Yeah. Yeah. So your mom stayed behind then?
She ended up coming at the end.
But at that time. And let's pause there for a minute because, amiga, I had no idea we had such similar stories. So I came here when I was 12. And my parents, they used to work in the fields in California. And they had been going for years back and forth. And that year, I remember they had other family that had come here for manufacturing because that was the times that manufacturing was booming here. Like Harley Davidson and things like that. So one of my cousins, I think, told my dad, hey, you want to come to Milwaukee? And, they pay better. It's going to be a better thing. So then my parents came in for a year. I stayed behind with my grandma. And I remember one day my mom calls and she goes, like, hey, we are going to a church and there's an opportunity to bring you and your brother in a visa to come visit and see if you guys like it. So we agreed. They did all the paperwork. And then my brother, because my brother was 10 years older than me, so he was an adult. And they signed all the paperwork. So my brother and I came here. I remember clearly it was December of, on that year when I was 12. And it was to spend the holidays, right? And they had their plan because, they were like, no, she's going to come. She's going to stay here. And then my brother was going to go back because he was in the university. But in my mind, I was like, no, I'm coming to visit. I'm going back to grandma, to my friends, to what I knew, right? And then they were like, well, no, you're staying here. And it was for me hard because I didn't know how to live with my parents anymore. I had learned how to do things without them. And my life was for over a year at my grandma's in my circle with friends. And then the weather. And I was like, I remember those first few months, I cried so much because I couldn't stand it. I remember there was a big storm and I used to go to South Division and I started getting really sick. I don't even know. I remember what it was. I think I had sarampion or something. I don't know. It was some sort of like viral thing. And I remember they told me, well, you have to leave. You can't stay here because it's highly contagious. So I walked in the snow with a tiny little jacket. And it was like snowing heavy all the way from, we used to live on Walker Street. So I walked from like South Division all the way to almost National. And I remember feeling like I was going to die. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cold. Like I couldn't feel my feet were frozen. My hands were frozen. But I relate because at the time I was like, I didn't speak English. I didn't know the language. It was a lot of bullying. It was just like hard, And I can relate. And the thing is, to your point, at that point, those to me were the most critical times, right? Because you're growing up, your body as a woman is changing. You're going through a lot of things. And not having your mom around and like that parental figures, it's a lot that oftentimes I think now is like, how many people go through that?
Exactly.
How many families?
And kids can be so cruel too when you go to school.
No, they can't. No, let's correct that.
Yeah.
They are cruel.
Yes.
They can be. They are cruel by nature.
But I remember when I came to middle school, so I went to Casiasco Middle School.
Same.
I know. Then I graduated from South Division. When you say South Division, it's my school too.
Yeah.
But even the way they're dressed, it was different. So when I came, my dad didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so he used to take me to churches to get clothes and when I will go, kids will pick on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time staying outside because we needed to wait outside until the doorbell rang. Kids will grab snow and throw it in my face. And it was just so very devastating. It was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go back home.
Yeah.
And so I think that one thing that I can say to parents that come from other countries, be mindful what the kids go through.
Yeah.
Talk to them. See what they're going through.
Yeah.
Because
check in.
Yes. And unfortunately, nobody took the time to talk to me and say, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
And so it was really hard.
And they were in survival mode because I remember when I came to Cassie, they enrolled me. And my first thought, I'm like, oh my God, this is a prison. Because in Mexico, the schools are open. You go to recess and it's like the classrooms are around like courtyards.
Right.
And recess is always outside, but you're always looking outside. And to me, this was so depressing because it's like, why am I in prison? And you can't go nowhere. Like, you'll get in trouble. Like, I am with you. And I'm glad you're bringing that up because it's so important because we're not too distant from that.
Yes.
And a lot of families, we forget that children get impacted. Well, let's pivot a little bit. So that was a little bit of your background coming here and growing up. Tell us into the evolution of Elizabeth as you started, going through school, getting in that community. We'll get into what you do today, but what was that coming out of that experience of migrating here, having felt that, then acclimating, learning the language? Take us all the way up until when you did you go to college? Did you go to school? How was that upbringing here?
Like I say, I graduated from Casiasco Middle School. Then I went to South Division. After South Division, I was an honor student.
Okay.
So I got some scholarships that I couldn't take because I was still illegal at that time.
Same.
And it was so heartbreaking because, I had the opportunity to get everything paid, but I couldn't take advantage of it. So, so I stopped for a year because we were in the process of getting a political asylum. So I couldn't go to college right away until after I became a resident. And after that, my dream was to be a flight attendant.
Oh.
I wanted to travel the world and know everywhere.
Yeah.
And I got pregnant. So
Welcome to reality. Stop telling my story, Elizabeth. That's not what we agreed on.
So I couldn't. I actually finished an associate's degree for travel and tourism.
Oh, okay.
But I never fulfilled that dream of working as a flight attendant or in a travel industry. So I ended up getting a job in a mail company.
Okay.
So we were sorting mail by zip codes and we were standing all day long. And I said to myself, this is not for me. My feet hurts. No, I need to go back to school. And that's when I went back to school and I got a bachelor's degree in human services.
Wow.
Yes. I actually went and applied at UMOS for my first office job, United Migrant Opportunity Services. And they were doing a typing test. And they're like, you have to type 30 words per minute. Well, I ended up typing 10 words per minute. And I remember talking to the president, Lupe Martinez, at that point, and his secretary. I said, can you please give me a chance? I'll promise you I will learn.
Yeah.
And he did. He actually took the chance and gave me the opportunity to be a receptionist. Okay. And I worked really, and this was before I got my bachelor's. And I was able to, I was taking typing tests every day just to get better because I wanted to prove to them, thank you for giving me the opportunity and I will not,
take it for granted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a time that I went back to them and I said, look, I can now type 60 words per minute.
I know.
And they were like, oh my God. So I have to say that they gave me that opportunity to start in office work. And that's when I say I need to go back to school so I can, help others. So.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how sometimes we talk about this with our guests here? Like there's someone else betting on you.
Yes.
Someone else that sees a potential and takes a chance on you. And that's all you ever need sometimes to go beyond that. That's amazing. I'm reminiscing over here because I have shared this before, but when I graduated high school from South, so I was like varsity captain for volleyball and I played like volleyball, soccer, whatever. And I had my coach, he was like, we need to get you a full ride. And I got so many offers from different colleges. And I remember that year, because, you don't talk about those things. And my coach, he was a white male and super passionate and helping, amazing coach. And he was like, he got mad. He was like, why don't you want any of this? These are great opportunities and blah, blah. And I finally told him, I was like, because I don't have papers. And he was like, what? Because I speak English. I was like, I was not Miss Popular, but I was, like me, social butterfly. And I was doing things all over. And she's like, I would have never guessed. I was like, I don't have papers. Like at that point, my student visa had or expired. And so I remember he was so devastated. I remember he was so mad. So mad. Not with me, just with the process. I remember he was like, this is so unfair. Like, what can I do for you? Who can I talk to? And I was like, well, talk to your president. I mean, it was just like one of those things that I remember was a huge realization for him as a coach, as a human. And it was for me the first time I saw someone as an ally leaning in, right? And we stayed in touch even after I graduated high school. But those are the opportunities that sometimes we don't talk that are still happening in our community. So many kids that want to go to school, that want to better themselves. I know like MATC has programs, that helps in other universities for eating and whatnot. But what people forget is even if you have the possibility, you don't qualify for any assistance whatsoever, right? And so it's tough, right, to understand that. But you know what? Life happens the way it has to happen. I was blessed that my boyfriend, now husband at the time, he had papers. We got married. I got my citizenship through him. And I went back to college after I got my papers, after I had my kids. Awesome. And it's one of those things that life has its way of happening. But at the same time, I kind of feel that it was a blessing because I knew when I went back to school what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Do you feel the same?
I totally agree with you. Because by the time I went back to school, I had already had a few jobs within the human services.
Yeah.
And I say, this is what I want to do. This is my call.
Yeah.
I say, forget about traveling now. Huh? I'm going to do traveling and the other personal, but not
I'm going to
work.
travel elsewhere.
But yes, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
By the time I went back to college, I had a vision.
Yeah, more clarity on where you wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense why you do what you do then. So talk to us a little bit. So you went through those experiences, and then that was your first, I want to say, like your first steps into service world, into being of service to other people and enriching lives and learning the intricacies that our community needed. So when does Elizabeth decide, I want to start doing more community work and I want to start paving the way into what you are doing today?
Like I say, once I started in the human services field, I stated I was in the W-2 world, welfare reform.
Yeah.
Since 1997, I was part of the implementation of W-2 program. So I never thought not being there, but I think God has ways of letting you know, you're not staying there, you're moving on. Right. I'm gonna share a little bit that I'm also a survivor of domestic violence. So while I was going through school and having my kids, I have 3 children. I have Tanya, she is 30, Carlos is 32, and Miguel is 28. So while I was having my 3 children and working and surviving, I was also going through domestic violence. And so that's my passion of why I help. And while I was in W-2 and human services helping other individuals, nobody took the time to check on me. Yes. So I always in my head says, one day I'm going to help people and now I have the knowledge of what is missing in the system to be able to help in a better way.
Wow.
So that's where my call started. I never thought to be where I'm at now. It was just a thought. I never thought that it was gonna.
It was a spark.
Yes,
I call it a spark. It's when things start moving inside you, and something starts like, I don't know what it looks like yet, but I know something's happening.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. One day, when a friend of mine we went to church together, and it was a new church. We were visiting, and the pastor said, "Whoever wants prayer, come to the front." My friend was going through some issues, so I said, "You need prayer. Come on, let's go to the front." So when we went to the front, the pastor came down and touched me, and I said, "Oh no, it's not me, it's her." She's like, "No, God is telling me to let you know that the mission that you have in your head, to go ahead and do it." I started crying.
Yeah.
And I said, "What? How do you know?"
Yeah.
Because at that point, I have not even mentioned it to my kids what I wanted to do. And she's like, "I'm just a messenger. I don't. This is what he's telling me to tell you." And at that point, I still didn't believe it. And I say, "Well, God, if you want me to do this, you need to let me know because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Send me a signal or something."
And at that time, I was really. I had a position in W-2. I was overseeing the whole project for the W-2. I was a senior operation manager, and I say, "I'm good. I don't know if I want to go there." And so I ended up losing my job. Okay. So when I lost my job, I truly believe that was a way to let me know, hey, you need to do this. And that's when Beacon of Hope started.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Well, first of all, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing about that. I want to spend the rest of our conversation here. Then let's talk about Beacon of Hope. Yes. So we met about a year ago, right? And then we have a lot of amazing mutual friends. Yes. But the first time I started learning about Beacon of Hope, I related in so many different levels, right? So tell us about Beacon of Hope. What is Beacon of Hope?
Beacon of Hope, we work with individuals that has been or are currently going through domestic violence. That's our main objective. But we also work with anyone that has been going through any trauma. So our goal is to work with an individual to meet them where they at and provide the education, the resources, and whatever is needed at that time to make sure that they get what they need.
Okay. And right now, so that's 100% your focus right now, right? Because life and God puts you into the, okay, Elizabeth, you got to focus on this 100%. And we've talked, right? Like we've had several conversations. This is more than a job. This is a calling. This is a purpose. This is intention at its best. Tell us a little bit about what the beginnings of Beacon of Hope has been. What has been some of the challenges and opportunities? Because first of all, it's a nonprofit, right?
Exactly.
And for those of you that work in the community and run nonprofits, you understand that running a nonprofit is by far the hardest mission life can throw at you. Yes. Because you're not just representing like the different hats in the organization. It's not just standing up the organization, it's sustaining it and scaling it. And that up in itself is a lot of work. Mm-hmm. So how old is Beacon of Hope and how has that first beginnings been for you?
Beacon of Hope has been in existence for 3 years. This is going to be my 4th year. Yes.
We're getting out of the crawling stage into like walking now.
We're walking now.
Watch it. We're going to start running pretty soon. But
and I really think that's a good way to put it, how it is, because I think 2025 for Beacon of Hope was a good year.
Yeah.
And I think we really are standing up and starting to make big steps.
Yeah, like it was exploring, you know, like when you're crawling, the babies are like exploring. Now it's like, oh,
okay, now I can walk. Hold on. So I think that's where we at with Beacon of Hope. And so we started 3 years ago. It started as an LLC. Mm-hmm. And so I worked towards being a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. When I became a nonprofit, I thought it was going to be easier. Mm-hmm. That I was going to receive more assistance to help individuals, but that was not the case. No. I think reality hit that no, it doesn't work like that. So Beacon of Hope, we sustain Beacon of Hope by donations. Mm-hmm. People donate, and we just apply for our first grant. So we're praying that it goes through. So I'm going to give you this example. This is how passionate Beacon of Hope is with the individuals that we work with. Mm-hmm. December, we had an individual that she flew from domestic violence. So she was able to go to a hotel, and then she wanted to get her own place. It was her and 3 children. Mm-hmm. And so she didn't have no money. Mm-hmm. So we applied for services. She didn't qualify for, I think she was over income for $2. Mm-hmm. And I was mad. So at the end, so she was able to come up with some money, but she was missing $500. And I say, what can Beacon of Hope do to help her? And that's when I say, I talk to my kids a lot. They support me 100% with Beacon of Hope. They're always involved in everything that we do. Yeah. And my youngest son, Miguel, says, Mom, why don't you Uber? And I say, Uber? I say, I don't know. I'm scared of Uber. But that, the 31st of December, I went and I started Ubering. And I did Uber from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m.
Wow.
And I made up the money. And when that lady sent me a picture with her keys on her hand, I cry. And I say, thank you, Jesus. We made it happen. So, and when I say I'm passionate, I am. And not just me. I think everybody that works with me as a volunteer, they all put their heart to it. Yeah. Because this is not just my show. Yeah. There is a whole crew behind me that supports me, that are behind me, giving their all without getting a dime, because Beacon of Hope cannot hire yet.
Right, yet.
But I get the support, and I think after 3 years going, this is my 4th. I have gained trust in the community. I have gained trust in clients that are coming to me.
Yeah.
And overall, the community can see. I was very honored. When was it? 3 days ago, I got invited to go to a workshop, and I went and I met this lady, and she goes, "Oh, you work for Beacon of Hope?" I said, "Yeah, I'm the founder of Beacon of Hope." She's like, "You're the what?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the founder." She's like, "Oh my God, I'm meeting the founder of Beacon of Hope." And she's like, "I'm hearing a lot about Beacon of Hope in a good way." And to me,
Oh.
I was so humble because
Yeah.
I'm like, "Thank you, God,
Yeah.
all the honor to him," because I was the mission of Beacon of Hope is getting across the community.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward this
Yeah.
year to continue to grow.
Yeah. And I'm going to go back to that, right? Because as I've learned more about who you are, right, Elizabeth, the friend, the human, the survivor of so much in life. I met your beautiful children. I remember that the gala, you had the gala last year, and I had the honor of coming and help you MC part of it. And I remember we were talking, right? Because you're like, at first it was like, what am I doing? And a lot of hesitation. And what if we don't sell tickets? And then the word got out. And then seeing how that place was packed and seeing people recognizing your efforts, seeing the results. I know we talked a lot about this, but oftentimes we don't take the time and the grace and hold that space to just acknowledge, how far you've come. And you have standing innovation from people recognizing the work. And this is not just any people. These are leaders in that community that see not just through the passion and what you're doing, but the impact that you're having. So I hope you feel very proud of that. And I told you this is just the beginning. Watch next year. It's gonna be bigger.
Yeah, when we decided to do the gala, God put it in my heart to do the gala, and I say it was a fundraising event. I say, okay, how I don't got the funds to do a gala. It takes a lot to come up with something, and God said it's gonna be a very intimate gala, but you're gonna do it. So I went to my kids and the people that support me, like my crew, and say, okay, this is what God is putting me in my heart.
Yeah.
And my daughter, I remember saying, "Mom, are you sure you're listening correctly? Are you sure it's not for 2026? I said, "No, it's for 2025. So she's like, "Okay, well, if that's what he's saying, I'm sure he's going to provide." And everything started falling into place. And when I started selling the tickets, so I got a place that it fit 50 people. And I said, good, because, I didn't know how it's going to be. So I wanted something that I can afford. And I put the tickets for sale. Within a month, I was sold out. And I said, oh my God. And then people were calling me saying, hey, I want a ticket. I said, I'm sold out. And then I had Humus call me and say, hey, I want a table. I'm like, a table? I don't even have a ticket. So I had to go back to the place and I say, hey, is there any way that we can increase the numbers? So they were able to be creative and they're like, okay, we can do this, and this, and we can do 15 more. So it was 65. And I say, okay, well, that's fine. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I got sold out right away. Not even a week, everything was sold out. By the time of the gala, well, you were there, people came without tickets.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're sold out. And they're like, well, and I don't like turning people away.
Right.
And I say, they were even telling me, I'll stand. I don't care. I'll be standing. We just want to be here to support you.
Yeah.
And to support Beacon of Hope. And I say, okay, so they pay for the ticket at the door. And there were a lot of people that were standing and they didn't mind. Yeah. And when I put the gala together, I think it was, I realized the impact. I was able to hire somebody that did the numbers for me to collect the data of everything that Beacon of Hope has done for 2025. And when I saw those numbers, when I saw everything that we have accomplished, I was in tears.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. sometimes you just do the work, like you say, but you don't realize the impact that you're causing in the community. And we were able to recognize some of the individuals that have worked with Beacon of Hope. And they came. There was one of the lady was not ready, and I was a little sad that she couldn't make it. But I took, the gift that we had for her at the gala, and but she's good, and that's what makes me happy. She's safe with her kids, so I'm like, I'm good if you are not able to. And sometimes we need to understand where, and that's why my pride is in Beacon of Hope.
Yeah,
we meet people where they at. We're not gonna push you to do something that you don't want to do.
Yeah, and I want us to stay there for a minute, because one of the things that I have seen in our community and many organizations throughout the years is the huge disconnect between the purpose and the revenue. And oftentimes organizations start with the right heart and mind, and then ambitiousness or whatever comes into place, that they forget why they started in the beginning, and you lose purpose, right? And something I have value and I admire you from, because I remember when we were having that conversation, you really stood in honoring, not just standing by your word of saying, you know what, because I'm going to clarify, the person that you're referring to was someone that was just coming out of an abusive relationship. So you were also in the process of helping them. Right. And like you said, rather than pushing and saying, and I need you here to show up because this will demonstrate the value that we're providing, you leaned in and you stood to your values of why you're supporting, and you still recognize that person, right? The person still got the recognition, but the value in that moment for what Beacon of Hope stands for is leaning in and helping that person in their journey, not for your achievement, not for your recognition, but for the work that you're doing. And I commend you for that, because that is why when I talked to you, I was like, this is exactly what we need in our community. We need more organizations that truly meet people where they're at, they stand by their values. And I want to believe, I true wholeheartedly believe, that is the reason you're having the impact you're having, because people see that. I mean, even just this fact of you going to drive a whole night shift and over to help the person, like, that's unheard of, honestly. Like, that's not something that comes easy. And I know we talk about this all the time, right? Like, God and the power forces of the universe are watching that. And I'm a huge believer that will multiply for you in Beacon of Hope. So what's in store right now? Because I know ever since that moment, right, I think that opened a lot of possibilities for you, because after that, like, your brain started like going a million directions. You have been working on a lot of great things. What's coming for Beacon of Hope?
Well, right now we are doing, like I mentioned at the gala, one of my goals was to do workshops for the community on the south side and the north side. That's another thing that I like about Beacon of Hope. We don't stay just in one area.
Right.
We're everywhere. Wherever we can make an impact, we will. So I'm collaborating with VIA, and VIA is giving me the space at Clark Square Pavilion to do the workshops every month. We are actually having our first one this year on March 17th, I think it is. And I'm collaborating with Salud First. Okay. So we are talking about wellness and health and insurance. Okay. So we can provide that information to the community. We are also having one on the north side, but that one is for a home ownership. Okay. So on that one, I'm collaborating with CDA, Community Development Alliance, and Milwaukee Community Land Trust. So they're both coming and providing information to the community in regards to how to become a homeowner and how to take advantages of all the benefits that are out there. There's a lot of money to assist individuals to be a homeowner.
So you're really paving the way to make it easy for these individuals to access those funds, because let's be honest, oftentimes those benefits are out there, but they make it so hard so that people can't claim them. And so you're facilitating a pathway so they can know the details and apply.
Exactly. Okay. And what I like about Milwaukee Community Land Trust too is that they will advocate for you for other programs.
Okay.
because like I said, there are so many programs out there that they can
It's
assist.
overwhelming, actually.
Yeah, so she is the person that I'm working with. She is very good on kind of hand holding the person and saying, hey, these are the steps. And if people are not returning calls, because you know how it is, people don't return calls and you get frustrated and you quit.
Yeah.
So we actually advocate for the person. We will call the other programs and say, hey, why can't she get this?
Right.
So that's one thing that I like. And I also say, and people ask me, why are you doing this type of workshop if you're focusing on domestic violence? And my thing is, just because we're going through domestic violence or because you had an experience, traumatic experience like that, that doesn't mean that you can have a house. That doesn't mean that you can have goals and dreams to have your own place, to be healthy, to go to workshops. So that's why I like to bring different topics in order for the community to, and it's open to anybody. You don't need to be going through domestic violence in order for you to come to these workshops. So I think the more united we get, the stronger we get.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like you're offering resources and education holistically.
Yes.
It's not a segregation, which is another thing a lot of organizations do. Is like you got to fit the profile to be part of an organization. And Beacon of Hope is really, really being the beacon of our community to attract and develop and help and educate in every area and aspect that really constitutes to being well-being. Well-being, not just on building wealth, well-being in health-wise, well-being, mental health, like all these elements that you're providing. And ultimately, whether, and I know we saw in a statistic, and I don't have it, maybe you know this, but domestic violence happens in so many different aspects, and it happens to so many people that don't even recognize it.
Yes.
So do you remember any of those statistics?
I'm not by heart.
Yeah.
Don't put me out there like that.
No, me neither. I just know it's very high.
Should right now. But
it's scary though, because those numbers also change by the minute, especially with everything we're living in the world right now, mental health particularly. Those numbers are very high.
I know Wisconsin, by the beginning of this year, we had 5 homicides versus last year it was 0. So it went up.
Yeah.
So that was a big impact when I saw those statistics.
And that's what we know and is documented. I mean, there's so many under that we don't hear about.
I met with a person yesterday. She reached out to me because she just finally got approved a restraining order. They approved it for 10 years, but she just got out. And when she was telling me her story of how many times she had to go through court to try to do a restraining order. And I know a restraining order is not going to save anybody, but, it covers you. But in the process, and I was talking to another person that does the same work as I do, we need to do something on how to make it easier on a person that is doing a restraining order.
Yeah.
I mean, what this person went through was very hard. And she told me yesterday, I wish I would have known about Beacon of Hope. So I would have came to you so you can help me.
Yeah.
But it was a lot that she had to go. It took her to file 6 times before he was able to get served. Yeah. So, and in the meantime, she's not protected.
Yeah. And I believe it because I've always said this, and it's one of my pet peeves, like, we have systems in place, but by the government that complains about all these things, and at the same time that is supposed to be there to protect us, and the systems in place are so outdated. They don't have the capacity. They don't have sometimes even the human level, because it just becomes a transaction.
Exactly.
And the people showing up oftentimes, like, there's this bias, right? Like, you can't lean in and understand this is a severe situation. Mm-hmm. And the institutions oftentimes don't get that. And even if you call that police, the police is like, well, do you have a restraining order? What can we do about it? It's so complicated.
It is. And to the point that this is a person that, knows about the system a little bit. But can you imagine those individuals that don't? They will quit in the one try. They will get disappointed and they will not, follow through. She was able to get cameras in her house to prove what he was doing. Alarm system, but what about those individuals that don't have the means to buy an alarm system, to buy cameras? or to even have internet in their house in order for the cameras to work. So it's a whole process that yesterday, after talking to this individual, a lot of ding ding came to my head. I'm like, okay, we need
Your
to,
bells are ringing.
yes, because it's like there's a lot of things that needs to change. People say, well, there's a lot of money out there for domestic violence programs. Well, I need to know where they are.
Yeah,
because the people need it. And this is just my personal opinion. Sometimes we focus on big agencies and we forget the small agencies like Beacon of Hope, that we are making an impact on the community. We are trying to help. So we need to see the whole picture, not just, okay, this agency is the main one, you know?
Yeah.
And I always say that if we get united, we get stronger so we can help better. But it's a process, and I think changes will come.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna make a call to action to all of my friends. You know who you all are, that are community leaders, that are the power and move makers out there. Make it happen, because one of the things I always talk about is like we have got to stop competing. Yes. Like this nonsense of competing always makes me so angry. Like we have so much power as a community. Amen. Forget about like gender, forget about like the power moves for like there is so much power in that. Like listen to what we're saying right now. Like we have people living in these situations right now. It could be your daughter. Let me tell you, I was in a retreat recently, and the stories of women I heard of domestic violence that their own families don't know about out of fear that the attacker might do something in retaliation, and they have no way out right now because they don't know where to go. Because they went to that police, and the police said, well, we can't do something until you have a restraining order. And it was so heartbreaking. So if you're in the government, if you have a power move, if you know people, have them contact Elizabeth, Beacon of Hope. Don't forget about, you know, the work that's been done in the ground. I mean, we shouldn't have Elizabeth driving on December 31st and Uber for 12 hours to be able to provide for someone. Like, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with the community? What is wrong with all this money that is sitting in buckets to fix the freeway because we have a bump? Like, let's wake up, people, because this is the part where I get just so angry. And I'm speaking to my friends in government, and you all know who you are. I won't call you out on names, but let's start doing something with that. But thanks for all that you do, Elizabeth, because I know this is, and it's also a reflection of this is not easy on you either, because on top of suffering all that, you're also having to take care of yourself because you see a mirror. This has got to be a constant trigger for you, right? And the healing that you have gone through, it's also a reminder of why you're doing what you're doing, right? And I can only imagine you're a woman of faith, and you're constantly talking to God and being illuminated, but also, you know, it's something for you to, like, what do they say? I posted something the other day that says, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
And I was sharing, like, I don't even know where my damn cup is even right now, okay? Like,
no, I thank God that, you know, He's in my life. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do right now without Him in my life. But I truly believe that He put the right people. So I have a strong support system. Yeah. And I thank God for that, because
that's your board of directors.
Yes. Because I can pick up the phone and say, hey, and call Xochitl and say, hey, I need to talk to somebody. And I know they will listen. Yeah. So I think that's important. And that's why I want Beacon of Hope to succeed, because that's the other day I received a call at 12 midnight from a lady that was just trying to talk to somebody because of what she was going through. The husband worked third shift, so that's the only time that she's able to reach somebody. And, you know, calls that comes through Beacon of Hope comes through my cell phone when it's after hours. So I thank God, you know, I was not as fully asleep, so I was able to answer and talk to the lady. And but that's why when you say we need the help in order to have this answering system. And yes, there are other 24 hours, but if a person identify themselves with a certain agency, let us help as well.
Yeah.
So I was able to talk to her, and she actually is going through therapy so she can get stronger before, she makes any decision.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I don't like to push people to do things that they are not ready to do.
Yeah.
And sad to say,
yeah,
other agencies, they do that.
Yeah, they push.
They push, okay, well, you need to leave him. I'm like, we don't know if we're ready to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about experience that happened to me. Well, why are you with him? You just leave him.
Right.
Like,
easier said than done.
Yes.
And I want to reiterate that right now, because something we haven't touched on, because again, you're so humble that you don't like going there. But one of the things that when I started learning about Beacon of Hope, and even just, it's not your lived experience only, but you have made it a point to educate yourself in this matter. So when a situation like this comes up, you know how to talk to them. Yes. You are trained to take the situation under control, to de-escalate. Like, you have all the training. And I want to reiterate that, because it's so important to know when and who to reach out for the right support. Because to your point, there's agencies out there that they would pride and say, oh, we have the knowledge, but they don't. They're an agency after all. And sometimes in the moment, you need someone that's grounded, not just in faith, but grounded in giving you the right direction, because it's moments, like seconds of decision making. And you know that I love neuroscience, so I'm going to get a little geek into this. There's seconds when your brain is processing that load of emotions and informations, that the wrong thing that is said and captured can be detrimental. Amen. When you don't know how to coach through that moment. Like I mentioned, I was in a recent experience, and seeing the pain of some of these young women going through that, I could see some of them, like the emotions taking them overboard, and rising and getting really aggravated in the moment, and wanting to run out the door and like take action, right? And I remember telling them, like, I need you to just breathe right now. You don't have to make a decision. The fact that you're speaking about it, the fact that you're sharing your experience in a safe place, that's sometimes all they need in the moment, right? So I want to reiterate that, because Elizabeth's not just doing this out of passion. You have the certifications to back you out. You have the education to back you out, the experience. And so I want to put that out there as a peace of mind for people listening. The support is not given just because. This is not Elizabeth just standing up here and saying, oh, I'm a doctor and a professional on this now. Like, no, you put in your work.
Yes, I have. Yes. And one thing, and I didn't even realize it at that time before I even opened Beacon of Hope. I was working for W-2 agencies. When things were escalate, they will always look for me. They were like, where's Elizabeth? Come and talk to this person and de-escalate the situation. Yes. So, and now looking back, I'm like, and I thank God, about all the training.
A gift.
And yes, it is a gift.
You have the training, but it's a gift.
Yes. So learning how to gain that trust from the person that is sitting across from you, it is something that you have to have that passion and the gift to make sure that they trust in you. Yeah. So I take pride on that I'm able to relate and just and sometimes let the person talk. Sometimes we want to jump in and
solve. Like, we're not here to solve. Sometimes it's just listening and being that sounding board, and that's all that's needed.
And like I say, and like you say, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I have in Beacon of Hope, let's say that if I'm talking to you and I know that I connect you with the person right away. Yeah. It's like, even if you don't have insurance, I know counselors, I know therapists that work with Beacon of Hope, and that's a blessing that I have as a resource that are able to talk to individuals that needs more of that therapy.
More of that support. Yes. All right. Well, we're coming here almost at the end of time. Like, time flies in here. But let's talk a little bit about this amazing event that you're putting together right now. And it's coming up in May, amongst all the beautiful things that you're doing. Talk to us about this retreat that you're going to have, and where can people find more information?
Well, we are doing, for the first time, a women's retreat. It's going to be on May 2nd through the 3rd. It's at the Woods. It's in Fredonia, Wisconsin. It's like 45 minutes from here. And and it's open to anyone that want to come and recharge, spend some time with women and learn from each other. And I have individuals that are coming that of course, we're going to be talking about finances. We're going to be touching spirituality, wellness. We're going to be doing a lot of activities. It's going to be it's very intentional.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward for that retreat. I posted on social media, and it's amazing of all the feedback that I'm getting. It's amazing.
It's the response, right?
Yes, the response.
So let me elaborate a little bit on that, right? So Elizabeth and I, we've had a lot of, friendly conversations, and she came to me earlier in the year, with this idea, and she was in the middle of all of it. And we were just talking like friends, and I could see, right, like the spark going on her. And I was like, so what are we talking about? And then she told me she was working. So the Woods is a resort.
Yes.
It's a resort that it's in Fredonia. You went and met with them and then proposed. I want to bring a 2-day retreat because people would arrive all day Saturday and then check out on Sunday. And this is kind of the vision I have. And you very, very much work with the resort. So shout out to the Woods Resort for supporting this mission because they're making this happen. And hopefully it's the first of many. But I commend you because we talked about this. And this is where I want to go back and ground you. You put in the work. You show up. You sold to the resort, not just obviously, because for them, it was like, well, obviously the money, the marketing, the bringing people in, but the vision of what you're trying to build and to get an organization, especially a resort behind a mission like this, it's so hard. And so I know you and I talked about it, but I want the public to know that for you to be able to achieve something like that, it takes the heart and the courage, right? So you made it happen. And right now, what you're talking about is an all-inclusive experience. So what your ticket will get you when you can check it out on Beacon of Hope social media is the overnight stay. So basically all day Saturday, and there's going to be different workshops, right? That's my understanding.
Yes.
And then checking out on Sunday at noon. Now, when we say everyone is welcome, it's women only, 18 and above. No children, no boyfriends, no sneaking out husbands.
This is a time to, for you to
women.
Reflect, to come and enjoy yourself and recharge.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward because I'm even going to recharge that day.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I have been fortunate to be in retreats like these through church and through different things. And one of the things that I'm so excited. So again, thanks for the invite because I'm gonna be one of the speakers there. But it's so amazing to see a group of women that are in one way, shape, or form going through the same journey as you are, and it doesn't necessarily has to do with violence or being a survivor of violence. I call it just surviving life, period. Like,
amen.
Getting through the day, getting through menopause, getting through whatever it is you're doing, but give yourself the gift or even just a day to treat yourself.
Yes.
And that's how I'm calling it. Treat yourself, because we put in so much work every day, so much energy, not just showing up and getting up. And for those of you who are like me that have still young children or that are still working, and we get so inundated on the day-to-day, this is truly a moment to pause and recharge and disconnect from the world.
Amen. Yes.
And have a space. And I'm so proud that Beacon of Hope is providing that, because to your point, this is where the realization comes full circle. This isn't just about supporting women that have gone through domestic violence, but people that need that love and support from a community. So I'm so excited about that.
I am just so happy.
Yeah.
That is actually coming to.
Yeah.
And just knowing all the phone calls that I'm getting, all the questions, and yes, it is all inclusive, because that's the question that they ask me. We got.
Do I have to bring my lunch?
Yes. So it's the stay, is the food, is breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Everything is included. All the activities. And an expert is coming. So we're going to be doing some meditation, breathing meditation. We're going to be doing so many activities that is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And you don't need to be physical, because there was a lady that come, well, but I can. You don't need to do all.
Yeah. No worries. We're not going to have you be skating or skiing
or anything. No. But it's a beautiful, relaxing place. Yeah. It has a lake. If you go on their website, is thewoods.org. You can see everything that they have.
The scenery looks beautiful. Yes. I haven't been there, but I'm looking forward. And then just wear comfortable clothes.
Yes,
right?
Just wear comfortable clothes and just come and enjoy yourself. And let Beacon of Hope pamper you that day.
Oh, I love that. And go check it out. So it's on their website, Beacon of Hope, and all the social medias. I will be sharing it. But let me tell you something, people, okay? Because this is something I want to emphasize. And Elizabeth and I went back and forth on this. Right now, there's an early bird special going on through, do you know?
It was going to be on the 9th, but a lot of people, a few ladies reach out to me, and I'm a person of faith, and I pray on it, and I say, okay, if I want to, I'm not here to, make money, and no, I want people to come and enjoy themselves. So if I need to extend, I will. So I did redo the flyer, and I'm going to be posting it, because we are extending the early bird special till the 15th.
Okay. All right. So there's that.
So it's $99 until the 15th. After the 15th, it's $140.
Yeah. And so I'm going to put it out there. So obviously you're going to have to reach a certain capacity. But let me just put it this way. For those of us that like to travel and spend a day, paying for a massage or your eyelashes or your nails, $100. $100 for an all day and a half experience, all inclusive, staying at a beautiful resort, surrounded by people that are there for the same mission. I'm sorry, it's like nothing. And if you find it in your heart and you say, you know what, I can't make it, but I would love to pay for someone else, that is something that you're also, open and willing to do. Because listen, I have a lot of friends that I know that oftentimes I get offered things and I can't make it. I'll be like, hey, I can't make it, but can I offer it to someone else? And I am so grateful and glad to do it, because this is about also paying it forward for others that can't. And let's be honest, I know times are tough, but $100 for this is honestly, nothing.
Actually, I had a lady that reached out to me that says, I wish I can go, but I just got laid off from my company. And so I ended up reaching out to MT Cleaning. Okay. They're one of the sponsors. And I say, hey, I have this lady. She really wants to go, but she doesn't have the funds. She got laid off, and, she can't do it. They send the payment for her, so she's able to go, because MT Cleaning sponsor her. Yeah. So if anyone was unable to go, like you say, and wants to sponsor someone, please contact me and we can make it happen. I have a few ladies that are reaching out that want to go but don't have the funds to go.
Yeah. So, and obviously with that, because I'd be doing a disservice if I don't say it. If you feel it in your heart to be a sponsor,
yes,
I'm always calling out for that. Like, Elizabeth accepts the sponsors, and I mean, I don't promise you that you'll get a whole, year of marketing campaign, but obviously there'll be, recognition, and people will know that you're contributing. I know that you and I are connecting, and I'll be sponsoring some of it as well. And it's just a way to show up and support as well. Everything we're talking about, let's make it happen. We don't have to just sponsor the quinceañeras and the bandas and the weddings.
And I was going to say also that for sponsoring, it doesn't have to be cash only too. If you want to sponsor water or chips or use snacks for the event, I would be more than happy to accept donations like that. Yeah. So because there are some people, that they are not able to financially sponsor, but you can sponsor a little gift for the women that are coming. Or I have a lady that is making some, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil the surprise. Don't spoil the surprise. A gift. But a gift to everyone that is coming. So those things are very well appreciated. And it counts. So it doesn't have to be just monetary. It can be in other forms of sponsoring.
So ya saben, mi gente. Saquen las carteras, no sean codos. Let's help each other. If we can show up for other things, we can show up for making a difference in our community and helping out. So we're getting at the end of this. What would you like to leave our audience with, Elizabeth?
I just want to let everyone know that you are not alone. For whatever you're going through, reach out. If it's not Beacon of Hope, reach out to whoever you feel comfortable with. It's about you. It's about being supported. So for whatever you're going through, and sometimes it's just somebody to talk to, reach out to somebody, because I can guarantee you that you are not alone on this. We are all on this together.
I love that message. And there's so many resources. I know that Beacon of Hope has a very nice website with lots of resources where they can contact you, get in touch, even have enough conversation and get involved. There's so many ways, as you just heard, that you can get involved. And we all know that one of us has been touched by not just domestic violence, but mental health or other issues in our life at one point. Maybe it's a loved one, maybe it was your mom, maybe your sister, your daughter, whoever. Show up for them. There's forms that we can give back and support. So thank you, Elizabeth. It was such a pleasure learning more about your journey. And then thank you for all the work that you're doing in our community.
And my website for Beacon of Hope is beaconofhopealways.org. We are in the process of updating the website, so I'm excited. Yay. But for now, it's beaconofhopealways.org. So you can.
And then you're on all social media.
All social media. Beacon of Hope for Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, well, it's such a pleasure having you, amiga. I know we have a lot of passionate conversations about the stuff that's coming up, but don't forget to follow them and learn more about it. Obviously, we'll be putting all the links up when this session goes up. But thank you so much for taking the time and sharing more about where you're at now and the passion. And for all of those in our community that want to show up and support, where to reach now. You can reach out to me too, and happy to put you in contact with Elizabeth. But thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me here. Thank you for all the listeners. And thank you for what you do and for putting our voices out there. So appreciate you.
Such a pleasure. Gracias. Pues nos vemos en otro episodio más. Gracias por haberse quedado con nosotros. Apoyen Beacon of Hope para que podamos hacer más cosas bonitas. Así es de que saludos y nos vemos pronto. Bye.